Welcome to Tahu Talks, where we celebrate the rich tapestry of Ngāi Tahu whāngai stories. In today's episode, we're joined by Kiti Te Maire Brennan, a remarkable wahine toa raised in Ōtautahi. Kiti is a mama, a daughter, a sister, a mokopuna, a Kura Kaupapa graduate, and a senior Kapa Haka performer. Join us as she shares her journey, insights, and the powerful stories that shape her identity. Thanks for coming and joining me of my new podcast, Tahu Talks, cousin. So excited to have you here. I'm really grateful that you agreed to do this too.
I'm excited. I like talking, so.
Cool. Okay, so tell me all about Kiti Te Maire Brennan. Who is she?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. We don't want me to start right from Pipi Pāpautanga or?
Yeah.
Kiti, I'm 27. Actually, it was just my birthday last week. So
Was it?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm 27 now. I'm a Leo. I say that because I can. I'm a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister, a little sister. I'm the pōtiki of my whānau. And yeah, I'm a friend, I'm an auntie, all those sorts of things. And yeah, that's me, I guess.
I want to talk about your name, Kiti Te Maire Brennan, because there was one day you were in here and you were like, do you know that that's not actually my name or something? Can you
Yeah, so
finish that story off?
when I was born, my biological mum gave me the name Leannan. It's spelt Leannan, but it's pronounced Liana. Don't ask. It's just
Leannan.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Leannan. However, my grandmother, Taui, she gave me the name Kiti Te Maire. And that's a combination of two names, Kiti Tau and Rauri Te Maire. So she took those two names and put it into one, Kiti Te Maire.
And who were Kiti and Te Maire?
They were tupuna of mine. Yeah. So greats. I can't even think about how many, but yeah, from my toe side, yeah.
What's your Taui's name?
Ramari Brennan. Yeah. So it was my Taui Tawa. Yeah, my Taui. Yeah, we call it Taui Tawa.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. I was named after my, well, not after my toa, but my toa named me too, because my mum wanted to call me Roxanne.
Roxanne,
cousin. Yeah.
Roxanne.
After that song, because I was born in the 80s. Yeah, late 80s. And she wanted to call me Roxanne, and my toa was like, we're not naming her Roxanne. Her name will be Waipounamu. She will carry the whakapapa of all her Ngāi Tahu tupuna in her name. And I was so grateful to toa.
It's a beautiful name too. I mean, because remember my brother named her daughter Pounamu.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my brother's name's Auraki.
Yeah.
And your son's name's Auraki.
Yeah, and he called me too when he was going to name his daughter to check to see if it was okay with me. And I was like, cousin, it's all good. You can name your daughter. Like, there's no copyright on the name. I don't own the name. Like, if you want to name your daughter Pounamu, all good. I've got a son called Auraki as well.
He's like that, eh? He's like that.
So were you happier with the name Kiti then?
It's all I knew.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't actually know. It wasn't until I think I needed something for my legal documents, and maybe it was for my passport, and to travel over to Australia because I'm originally, I have whakapapa, Australian whakapapa. I'm Aboriginal. And yeah, I remember looking at my passport thinking, Mum, why? This is not me. This is fraud. What the hell is happening? And yeah, she told me that, it's because your name's actually this, not Kiti Te Maire.
Is that also when you found out that you were whāngai as well?
Well, when you're growing up, you don't really understand the term whāngai. Yeah. So like, I think I called my mum Nan right up until I was like 5, because she brought me up when I was 3 weeks. So, and she was there when I was born as well. People would always refer to my mum as Nan, but it was mum to me. She was always mum to me and always dad. So it wasn't Nan or koro. It was mum and dad. So it wasn't until I could really comprehend the word whāngai that I understood what it is to be a whāngai. But yeah.
And were you, like, did you feel any different when you found out?
Not personally.
Yeah.
But I guess some circumstances I would definitely feel that difference. Like, obviously my siblings aren't my siblings. So things like sibling photos or like those sorts of things, those sort of circumstances, I would feel the difference of being whāngai.
Yeah.
But otherwise, nah. I never made out to feel different.
And it's a pretty normal thing in, you know, Te Ao Māori.
Yeah.
For, you know, your grandparents to be raising you or your aunties or uncles, like, takes a village, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When we talk about whāngai, sometimes for Māori, it's not adoption, eh? Can you talk about the difference of adoption compared to whāngai?
I think my circumstances are a little bit different for the fact that my mum, she was like a adoptive parent anyway. So her job was to whāngai tamariki anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So it always felt weird because yes, I was a whāngai, but we always had kids coming in and out of our home because she did it as a job. That's what I mean by it was a bit different for me in that sense, but I never really seen the papers that like the adoption papers or anything because I was just always there. But I would see that for kids that she would whāngai or adopt. We have, Mum currently has 2 whāngai children, their brother and sister, and she's had them since birth pretty much. And I got to see that process of her adopting them officially, whereas I never really seen that. And again, the concept of whāngai was always sort of what wrapped around my mum, what she wrapped around the children. It was never the concept of adopting. Because, you know, although my mum he Pākehā ia, ko tōna ao he ao Māori, thanks to Dad. Yeah.
What was your upbringing like?
I had a great upbringing. Yeah. I can't fault anything, to be honest. I'm grateful. Because if I was brought up with my biological mum, I'm scared to think about where I might be. Like, who knows? But thanks to my mum and my dad, and my siblings, because I think my brother was about 12 when I was brought into the whānau. So he was still a baby.
Is that old Raki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me it was a great upbringing. We were surrounded by sports and, you know, he raukura hau, so te Pākehā te Kura Kaupapa Māori, ki te Kura Whakapumo, and it was just the best upbringing. Can't fault it one bit.
Yeah. Who, obviously it was Uncle Jimmy that guided you into pursuing your reo.
Funny story. Dad, because, you know, Dad didn't learn te reo Māori until he was in his late 40s.
Yeah, that generation, eh?
Yeah, it wasn't until Poe passed away. So he passed away in 96. I was born in 97. Me and my nephew Tūtanikai. So it wasn't, we got the best part of Dad. Yeah. Best part of Dad. But he still was very much plagued with that, at that time, that social norm that te reo Māori, te ao Māori is going to get you nowhere. And even though he was pursuing te reo Māori himself, he still believed that idea. It was actually Tahu. Tahu really pushed Mum and Dad to send us all to Te Kohanga Reo Tuahiwi. So that's the kohanga we went to. Auntie Karen was our van driver.
Sylvia?
Yeah. And, I can't remember her name.
Was Auntie Sehutana there then?
Yes, she drove the van too, but we had one other lady. I can't remember her name. But yeah, so we grew up there and then went to Whakapumo. So Tahu was a big push, was the biggest push to get us all to Whakapumo. And over the years, because my siblings, you know, they were part of that generation too, where they thought te reo Māori, kaore he hua.
Yeah.
But I loved kura, and my mum knew I loved kura, and so I was the only one that actually stayed in kura all the way through to graduating and through high school. However, my mum wanted me to have the best of both worlds, so I did a year in primary school at a mainstream, not a year, a term, just an English-speaking school. I did a year term in intermediate and then a term in high school. So I got the best of both worlds, and that's the way that she puts it. Really, she was just trying to push me to go to Kura Auraki, but I didn't convert, so
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't. But yeah.
Yeah, my taua was the same, had the same type of mindset as well, because it was my paua who pushed me and guided me to go into Kura Kaupapa. And my taua, she was raised Catholic, and my paua was raised in Te Ao Māori, and he went to like Te Aute College, Kura Kaupapa and all that. And so when she found out that I was enrolled in a bilingual unit at Shirley Intermediate, she was kind of like, why are you in that class? You're not going to learn anything. And even like my friends' parents would be like, well, why are you learning Māori? That's not going to get you anywhere, you know. That was like the mindset of that generation, like my taua's generation who weren't raised in Te Ao Māori, and then like my friends' parents, and because my parents don't speak Māori, my taua didn't, but my paua did. And so that was the type of mindset, But Te Reo Māori has gotten me into so many great opportunities, like jobs. It's helped me travel the world, even Kapa Haka. So my question to you is like, what type of benefits has your reo offered you?
A lot, similar to yours.
Yeah.
I just through Kapa Haka and just through school. A lot of my leadership roles have been through school, but the benefit of that is I've been able to transfer those leadership roles into things like sports. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that's ko tera te hua, ne. So through school, I've learned all these things, all these different things, especially through Te Aho Matua, all the uara, they're transferable skills and characteristics. So I'm not just that way in kura, I'm that sort of person everywhere I go.
Yeah, and tell me the differences you experienced when you had a try at having a term in Kura Auraki compared to Kura Kaupapa.
It's different, like ngā tamariki kei ngā Kura Auraki he momo, like he momo. It's because I guess the biggest difference, again, I'll touch on aua uaratanga ki te kura. We're all taught the same uara. We all know the purpose of being at the kura.
Yeah.
Engari anō ki te te Kura Auraki, you've got no, the school might have school values, but there's not really any direction to instill those values in the children. Whereas at Kura Kaupapa Māori, ia te rā, ka whakatōkea ngā uara ki roto I ngā tamariki, ki roto I ngā tauira. So I guess that's the huge difference. And of course, obviously, kaore he reo Māori ki Kura Auraki. Ngā wā Kapa Haka, let me tell you a story actually. So I remember my first time I went to, I'll just say the school, North East Valley Normal School. Okay. That's the kura tuatahi I went to in Dunedin. Yeah. Dunedin? Yeah. True. That's where my sister moved there. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I lived with her for a term. And we were doing ko te wā Kapa Haka. And when you're in Kapa Haka, you're told, when you hope, close your fist, ki runga your hope. However, this particular lesson, we were told not to do that. So I'm the only kid with like hope, ko pēnei aku ringa, and the kāko goes, oh, no, Kiti, you go like this. So like my wrists are folded and they're chilling on like my hope. And I remember thinking, okay. Yeah. Because, I was always taught that that's what you do. Yeah. So that's what I did. Yeah. So when she told me to do that, I didn't really question it. I just sort of thought, oh, tērā pia he momo mō tēnei wāhi. Yeah. Just a naive, like 11-year-old kid. Yeah. Trying to figure out her way in this new world of mine. Yeah. But yeah, that's my funny story.
Crack up. Yeah, I want to go back and touch on, because I want to talk about uaratanga. For someone who has never gone to Kura Kaupapa, could you describe what that is and what it does for you as a student at a Kura Kaupapa?
I guess what it does, ultimately, it grounds you as a tauira. I remember I remember when I was at Kura anyway, if anyone was ever doing something naughty, or like something that we weren't supposed to do, people will use the uaratanga to remind you, nice. Oh, me pēnei, me kōrero Māori ngā wā katoa, ki ngā wāhi katoa, aroha ki tangata, whai koha ki tangata, ahakoa ko wai, ahakoa no hea, like those things that they would remind you of when you sort of slip off that path.
So uaratanga are like codes of conduct.
Yeah, codes of conduct, values,
curriculum.
Pretty much. Yeah, so Te Aho Matua is ultimately a pedagogy, and that's the sort of it's like the rule book that you go by. Yeah. But it's not even a rule book, like it's a way of living. Yeah, Te Aho Matua, it's a way of living, because like I mentioned earlier, you carry that with you everywhere you go. In whatever sort of space you find yourself in, you're sort of always carrying yourself like that in the world. Yeah.
And that's something that you didn't get at the kurauraki?
Definitely not. I mean, what sort of code of conduct do you have? Like, they have values like aroha, whai koha. What are they? Is it whai koha or whakaute? Nah, they use whakaute nowadays. But, those sort of values, they're just there. A lot of the time, it's just a piece of paper. Yeah. But we're not like that. We're not like that in Kura Aho Matua. We live by it. It's a way of living.
Kia ora. So you spoke about how you were the only one who stayed in Kura. What kept you in Kura?
Honestly, first thing I can think of are my friends.
Yeah. Obviously.
I think because it was just te ao Māori. Like, I loved to sing, I loved to haka, I loved to play sports. And that was my world. Like, outside of school, sports was my thing. And then inside of school, I had Kapa Haka and my friends. So I had, like I said, like the best upbringing. Yeah. But yeah.
Do you feel like you missed out on anything coming from Auntie Mary's perspective, how she didn't want you to miss out on, the other world? Do you feel like you missed out on anything?
I think in ways. So her biggest push for me was there was better sporting opportunities at other schools. And you see that a lot. A lot of kura kids, once they hit high school, they go to Kura Auraki because they provide those better sporting opportunities. There were a few times where I would go to Kura Auraki just to play, not to attend the school, but just to play sports for their teams. But it's different, I found back then I didn't play league because you couldn't play league with guys after 12 years old. So there was no league for me. And rugby I just found boring, like so boring.
Why?
I don't know. I guess it just, a lot of the time you're sort of just waiting around for the ball. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just did. I found it boring. Yeah. But it was fun because I still played for other schools and I made those friendships. But I think for Mum, it wasn't the te ao Māori side of things. It was the sporting side of things that she wanted me to dive into a little bit more. But I was just a naive high school student and did whatever I wanted to do.
Did you speak reo at home at all?
No. So there was no reo Māori at home at all. Even though he kōrero Māori a pāpā, it was more of a, like, pai type kōrero.
Yeah.
Ka kore rawa ia, kōrero Māori ki te kāinga. And it's not that he didn't want to, just wasn't normal for him. You know, he grew
Just
up...
kōrero ki te kāinga.
Yeah.
True.
Which is why when I had Merenia, I told myself that she would have te reo Māori at home.
Your daughter.
Yeah, my daughter Merenia. Which I can see the fruition of that, because she's a trilingual kid as well.
Beautiful.
And it makes me so happy. Like when the first thing she says when she wakes up, morena mama, kia horo, whakarite taku kai mo te ata, and I'm just like, you know, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that growing up.
Yeah.
I only ever spoke Māori at school.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I hit high school, there was you know, like I heard of Ko Te Mano Kaika and stuff like that. But it wasn't until I hit high school that I started to analyse and comprehend what it is exactly Ko Te Mano Kaika aim to do. And so I sort of set up my own reo Māori ki te kāinga map in my head and how I might be able to apply that once I had Merenia. And obviously I was a single mama. I was still able to apply that sort of strategy that I had in my head. And it worked out for her. Her dad's no hāmoa tōna pāpā, so he speaks Samoan to her as much as he can. Beautiful. And I speak. Yes, but no tērā reanga hoki, you know, ki ona mātua kaore hua o te kōrero I tō rātou ake reo. But he still speaks to her as much as he can.
Yeah.
And I'm about 90% of the time talking Māori to Merenia. And it's cool because some of the kids at home, like they pick up some of the phrases, and like if I ina ka tohu ki ai ki roto te reo Māori, they might understand that too.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's cool. I like it.
What about other members of your whānau who see you speaking Māori to your daughter too, like your siblings and stuff? Do they converse with her in Māori as well, and their children? Like, has that encouraged them to speak more or even learn it?
Oh, no.
Hey!
Nah, my brother, my oldest sister, she knows some words. You know, she's picked up words over the years and some phrases and sentences, so she can have like a basic conversation with Merenia and te reo Māori. My brother, because, you know, they were from that reanga that didn't have te reo Māori at home, so they don't speak Māori to her, but some of them will say words. My brother might have a basic conversation with her in te reo Māori, but I think tērā pēana te whakamā, that they can't have like a meaningful conversation. But I think my oldest sister can. And what's funny is my oldest sister, she's only our sister on my mum's side. So we have different dads. So he Pākehā katoa ia. And she knows more Māori than the rest of my siblings. Our siblings.
Raue.
Yeah, he raue. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, I only said that because, like you, when I got hapu with Auraki, I decided right then that I'd only kōrero Māori ki aku tamariki, ki te kāinga, ki ngā wāhi katoa, put them in Kura Kaupapa ko ngā reo, because I didn't have that growing up either. My poa was the only one who could speak Māori when I was growing up, but he passed away when I was like 8, so then I lost the only person in my whānau who could speak reo. And now with my children, I only speak 90% reo to them too. Their father's Italian, he only speaks Italian to them, and then everyone else speaks English to them. But I told my sisters and my mum, with their lack of reo too, I only want you to speak Māori to my children. I don't want you speaking Pākehā to them, because they can learn that elsewhere. But in the whare, when you come over to this whare, he whare kōrero Māori tēnei. And, you know, at first they were like, oh, but, you know, we don't know how to speak. And I'm like, you know, but they're still babies, you know. They're still learning just like you. You can use your kohanga level reo with them. And so my whānau, my mum and sisters now speak Māori to them with the paku reo that they already knew. But they've been learning together with my babies now. And are speaking it way more because they know that that's something that I required of them for my babies too. And my babies now can identify, I don't know if it's the same for your daughter, my babies can now identify who are Māori speakers, who are Italian speakers, and who are English speakers, so they'll converse with people in their language that they know they can speak in.
Yeah, koere te hua ne o ngā tamariki trilingual. I don't know what the Māori word is for trilingual. But yeah, she's the same. And it's amazing. And I wish I was a bit, like hearing you talk about that, I wish I was a bit more adamant when I spoke to my family about the fact that I would only speak Māori to her, but I just wasn't. I don't know why. I think it was just our family dynamics are different.
Yeah.
But like I said, they've picked up phrases and sentences. They can't put them together.
Yeah.
But there are days where I wish I was a lot more adamant, like, if you want to talk to her, me kōrero Māori. Because I can see, like you've just mentioned, the benefits of that, not for my child, and not just for the child, for the family as a whole, right? Because it's just not for the child, it's for the whole family. Makes me a little bit annoyed actually that I didn't
well, it's never too late, Dylan. Never too late.
You're totally right, it's never too late. And who knows, te rapea ka whānau pepe anō. And
I want to talk about Uncle Jimmy now. What was he like as a papa for you?
As a dad, honestly, like, it could have, because, you know, my dad, he had the dreads. He had a bit of a crazy look about him.
Eclectic, I would describe his style.
We call him our, what do you call them? I forgot. Our Māori
gypsy.
Māori gypsy.
Hippie.
We call him our Māori gypsy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. He was a great dad, you know. There's nothing I could fault about him because everything that he was gave me the experiences that I have and what not to be. Nah.
And what not to wear.
Yeah, what not to wear. But hey,
I love your steez, man.
We all know that my steez is a little bit on the, you know, they call it the kitty style. I don't care what I wear. I really don't. And a lot of that is to do with Dad's influence of his style. I mean, the amount of money he would spend on shoes and jackets. And me and Mum used to look at each other like, I used to look at him and I used to say sometimes, you know you got kids, eh? You know you got kids, eh, Dad? You know he would say to me?
What?
You're all adults now. And that was it for him.
Get your own stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what he would say. Or he'll go to your mother. He was honestly just a fun dad. He was a supportive dad. Yeah. So my family, like when it comes to Kapa Haka performances, my family, I was like that kid that didn't want people to come watch. Oh, yeah. But my dad was always there. Yeah. He was always there, whether or not it be in a judging capacity or just to watch. He wouldn't even tell me. I could just see him, see his fat head with his dreads and his hat. And I'm like, oh, there's my daddy. There's my dad. He was just fun. When I think about Dad, I think fun. Yeah. And I think I think about his laugh. Yeah. And I think about him and his guitar playing. Yes. And, I wish I could play the guitar like him. Unfortunately, I get cramps whenever I try to straight up, cuz like my fingers get stuck like that, and I'm like, nah, not built for this.
Not built for this. Yeah, nah, I think you have to like play for a while for your fingers to like loosen up, get used to it. What? True. I loved Uncle Jimmy. He was such a vibe. Loved his steez with the big hats and the crocodile shoes and the tassel leather jacket. Scarves, oh my gosh, yes. And he would stick out like a sore thumb whenever you'd go to kaupapa like Kapa Haka or even the marae. Be like, oh, yep, there's Uncle Jimmy. You can see him from a mile away or hear him from a mile away.
That laugh, eh?
And so I want to talk about when he passed. It was COVID. We had COVID and it was lockdown. And man, I don't even want to imagine how it would have felt like for you as a whānau to lose Uncle Jimmy first, who's like a legend, very well known, respected rangatira within Ngāi Tahu, Ngāi Tuahuriri. Like your whānau Brennan is a very prominent whānau within Ngāi Tahu, like always on the pai or karanga or your taui, like royalty basically, one of the royals from Tuahuriri. So to lose a rangatira like that during COVID as well and lockdown must have been like difficult as. But I want to ask, like, how did you uphold tikanga during tangihanga during lockdown? Like, were there things that you had to kind of switch out, change around, adapt to? Like, how did you keep tikanga intact?
I think because he had cancer, obviously, so we knew that, you know, nā waira, he will go. I think the beauty of tikanga is that you can change tikanga. You can't change kaua as such, but you can change tikanga. And he tuateitanga tēnei. And now reanga anyway. We were lucky enough to have the guidance of Uncle Kifa to just lean on. Because obviously my brother he tauhou ki te ao Māori. When he found out Dad was sick, he came home and he wanted to learn as much as he could before Dad passed away. Aha ko tērā he tauhou tonu ia ki te ao Māori. So he leaned a lot on Uncle. And with Uncle's guidance, we were able to create our own sort of way or sort of tikanga to help guide us through that 3.5 weeks that we were in lockdown. So we had karakia every night.
That's right.
Yeah, we had karakia every night, and we sort of had this nominating type system going around. So we'll nominate someone to take karakia and wāta. So,
and you've created was it a event page, private event page on Facebook, hey?
Yeah, we had a private group. Yeah. But there was like over 400 people in it. So anyone could just... Not very private. Not very private. So it was a bit of a shock when, you know, when Dad died and we had to bury him. You would have seen all over the news that more than 10 people showed up. But, hey, you know, we didn't expect anything less, in all honesty. But it was that side that we sort of couldn't change, you know, that those are the sort of kaua things that we can't change. But te taha ki ngā tikanga, we were able to change it to better suit not just us, but everyone else who was also grieving for Dad as well. But, yeah.
What are some of your favourite memories of Tuahiwi marae?
Lots of bad ones.
Real?
not like bad, like getting up to mischief bad ones. Those are the bad I'm talking about.
Don't you
just
mention
running
no
around.
mattress room.
No, please, no, never. No, lots of good memories. Just running around as a little kid, I remember the old whare. To be honest, sometimes I like it more than the new one.
Me too, cousin.
Just all the fond memories,
Straight up.
Running around on that field, hide and go seek, building all the forts and the barrier with the trees along the marae. Yeah. I mean, as a teenager, all the driving lessons.
Oh my God, yes.
On the dirt road.
Yes.
All the crashes on the dirt road.
No.
Not like some cousins who like to catch cows and sheep, but
straight up.
up.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Love you, cousin.
Yeah.
But
No, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Comment if you know. Lots of fond memories.
Yeah.
Just happiness.
Yeah.
When I think about the pā, just think about fun memories with all my cousins. And a lot of the cousins I grew up with at the pā, I still am very close with now. And it was Dad who always took me to the pā. And it was never, do you want to come? It was always, get in the car.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay.
Yes. My child did the same too.
And it could be, get in the car, girl.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Tuahiwi, it was Te Rehua, Te Rāpaki, all the marae around the Christchurch region.
And it'd be for all different kaupapa, and you wouldn't know, like maybe you're going to a tangihanga, but you wouldn't know the person that had passed away, but you still had to go, but then you just go play with the cousins outside anyways. Weddings, family reunions.
Just kaupapa, kaupapa, any sort of kaupapa.
Yeah. But real grateful to be dragged along, eh?
Oh, totally. I just remember... Now. Back then, like, we would fall asleep in the back of the car and Dad would carry me back inside and into bed. Like, that's just always a, get out of the car, we're home now, go to bed. No need to worry about anything like school the next day, like kai, like all those sorts of things. Yeah. It was just no worries. It was a carefree life.
You have other iwi affiliations other than Ngāi Tahu, eh? What are our differences that we do? Tikanga-wise, pā-wise, marae-wise, reo-wise?
I think the biggest difference is because I'm Ngāti Whakaue and Ngāti Tū Wharetoa. So back home in Ohinematu, there's like 3 or 4 marae within a K of each other. Yeah. Not like a 1K radius. Yeah. There's like 4, 5 marae.
I know the shitty road you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's like, that's a huge difference. Yeah. And unfortunately for me, I didn't grow up and I still don't really know much about those iwi. Right. When my siblings were younger, they moved up to, so my tū wharetoa side were from this place called Korohe. It's about 20-minute drive from Tūrangi, going towards Taupo. And so they grew up there for like about a year. And so I'm jealous of that because I'm like, you guys didn't even grow up in Te Ao Māori and you got to spend 1 year in Korohe.
You got the pā life.
Right, actually got the pā life up there. I'm jealous, eh? I wasn't even born yet. So when I'm comparing things, it's just more the more general tikanga and kawa that a lot of people know of, like taututu and paeke, all those sorts of things. But unfortunately, there's not much I can compare other than like maybe the standard of Kapa Haka.
Yes, let's talk about that, cousin. Oh. Because there's this term, right, that kapa from Te Waipounamu are hot dog groups. Hot dog groups are groups that, you know, say you're at Matatini and a Te Waipounamu group comes on, that's when the crowd goes and gets a kai because we're not good enough to watch. What do you say to that, cousin?
You know what, I never experienced that until Matatini here.
Hey!
It wasn't until like that Matatini, like I heard about it in that
50 haka moments.
Yeah. That bloody house shay. I'm pretty sure he's from Ngāi Tahu too.
He is. He is. Awarua.
Funny. Nah. I get it. In a way, I get it. Ki te kā Māui, ko te taumata o te Kapa Haka, like they've got that standard of Kapa Haka. Down here, kaore anō pia tātou kia eke ki taua taumata. Heoi, we've got a taumata that we sort of have for ourselves, and we all know the geographical difference with the North Island and the South Island. I mean, one iwi takes up majority of the... And then you have 8 iwi in this top corner of the South Island. Like, there's such a huge difference, you know, but I get the both sides. E noho taia pānau, you know. Heoi, I runga i te whakaaro o taku whakatipiranga, ki raru te koroa o Te Aho Matua. Whai koha ki tangata, aha koa ko ai, aha koa no here. You know, it's just that respect thing. Yeah. I'll just keep it there. Noho taia pānau.
Okay.
Just so I don't get in trouble.
No, all good. Okay, then, well, what do you think the North are doing differently compared to what we're doing down here, Kapa Haka-wise? Like, are we missing something? Are we not doing something? Do we not have enough resources or people? Or are we just on our own level?
I think we need more creatives. I also think we need to work together in some capacity.
Yeah.
Because, there's just so many more people up there. Like you said, we just need more resources, potentially workshops to, I guess, tap into that creativity, the potential of that creativity in some of our big thinkers. A lot of the time, we tend to just rely on one person.
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to not rely on that one person. Because not only does it burn them out, there's so much more in each and every one of the individuals. I think that's probably one bit of advice that I would probably give to people, to teams. Yeah, there's so many more but see, that's the other side of the sword, is that those ones, kaipupuri, they don't want to share.
Yeah.
They don't want anyone else to give their whakaaro because it might not be what they want.
Yeah.
And then brings me back to that idea that thought I brought up earlier, is that collaboration. There's not enough collaboration. But yeah, I think that could be one way for us to move forward, to potentially reach another standard. And I don't think there should be a standard. Get away with standards.
Yeah, nice.
Creativity is just such a massive world. There's a world full of creativity. I don't think we should be conformed to pursue one standard. Like, if you want to go out the gate, haere ki waho rawa o te keti, right? Don't just stand by the gate and then dip your toe in and out.
Yeah.
What's that going to do?
Yeah.
Make you mimi your pants because only your toes are getting wet.
Go hard or go home.
Go hard or go home. Exactly. But yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of, up north, they have a lot more Kura Kaupapa as well. They have a lot more whānau engaged with their hapu and marae too. They start very young up there as well, whereas we don't have the same type of opportunity down here because, like you said, our marae are not next to each other down the same strip of the road. Like, they're all like hours apart, man.
Days.
There's days hard. There's a few here in Christchurch, but then again, like, yeah, we don't we're still on a journey of revitalising the reo, but also bringing whānau back home to their own marae, to their own runanga. And then there's the generation that didn't grow up with the reo, that would be in those roles of leadership for us, not just in Kapa Haka, but in reo and passing down tikanga, like succession planning.
Yeah. And I think you look at a lot of like in Te Aroa, they're very iwi orientated. What I'm trying to say there is, like, you have tipiki kōtuku Ngāti Rongomai, you have Ngāti Whakauwe, Ngāti Rangiwewehi. This is just an example.
Yeah.
Whereas here in Waitaha, a lot of people probably just assume that a lot of the teams are Ngāi Tahu teams, but they're not.
Yeah.
No ngā hau e whā.
Yeah.
They've just been they've been brought up here, and he toki, Te Aho Kapa Haka, and they've taken that initiative to start up their own teams. So that's one huge difference. One huge difference. I guess sort of similar in terms of context to Auckland. So you have like angitu, wakahuia, no ngā hau e whā, ngā o rātou toki. Similar to here. You have the Waitoa whānau.
Yeah.
You have the Puanakis, the Peawinis.
Yeah.
The only sort of teams that are iwi orientated is like Ahika, and when we had Te Tahu. But then back in the day, obviously like Pānama Ngāi Tahu, Kāti o Tautahi. But yeah, nowadays we don't here within Te Waipānama, we don't really have iwi orientated teams.
Yeah.
Like ka whakamana tonu rātou i te mana whenua, ki roto i o rātou tuhinga, o rātou titonga, heoi, ko te nuinga o ngā kaihaka me ngā pauako, no iwi ke. But yeah.
Speaking of Kapa Haka as well, when are you going to come join Te Ahi Kāroa? When are you going to come join your iwi? Nah.
He whātai whai tērā, you know, we both know with I whakamoia te kapa o te Pautu Māro, and that was a question posed to a lot of our matis.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do?
Yeah.
I chose to take a break from Kapa Haka last year, and this year I chose to do one more stand with the matis before we come home, and I don't know, make my mind up then. I don't know. You're making me nervous. But yeah.
Now, what does it mean to you to be Ngāi Tahu?
What does it mean to be Ngāi Tahu? Well, my whole upbringing, really. Like, for me, being a tahu was, like I mentioned, the stories of the things, the fun things at the pā. So I guess that's whakapapa, you know, that's my hononga to Tuahiwi. But not even just Tuahiwi, like other places, Rāpaki, some of the beautiful places I love to visit that I might not have whakapapa there, but ko te iwi ko Ngāi Tahu. So I felt that connection in that way. So for me, what it means to be Ngāi Tahu to me is whakapapa. Me personally, I don't use the Kai Tahu dialect.
Yeah.
But
why is that?
I just didn't grow up using it.
Yeah.
Because I went to Kura Kaupapa Māori, again, there's no one specific, it's not a kura aiwi. So I learned all the different dialects.
Yeah. Was it used a lot at the marae when you were growing up?
No.
Did you hear it a lot?
Nah, not at all, really, when I think about it.
Yeah.
It's only been in the last, 5, 10 years that I've heard it a lot more. And, you know, I have cousins who use it. I have my friends who use that dialect. But because I never used it growing up, I just never chose to carry that. I mean, not to say that, you know, te rapea, you know, te rapea kao, but... But yeah. So what it means to be Ngāi Tahu to me is whakapapa. And everything that encapsulates. But yeah.
E te paranihia o tuahuriri. Tēnā koe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's been really cool. I've learned a lot about you that I didn't know about you. This is what I love about doing these podcasts too. It's like really getting to know someone who you thought you knew, you know?
But you didn't.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I've always loved being in your presence. It's just you make it so easy to talk.
Yeah, I hope it's been a vibe too.
It has been.
So, if you liked that whānau, let us know. Leave a comment. If you didn't, just keep it to yourself because we're all about positive vibes up in here. Okay, see you, bye.